what the fuck this white boy about to do, man? This shit, yeah. And after about 8 bars, they like, damn, this white boy cold.
If you don't have respect in this game, then it means absolutely nothing.
I fell in love with Eminem.
The cadences, the rhythm, the flow.
That's a dangerous man to play with.
And I think what Eminem figured out a way is how to be clever.
Mr. Controversy, Eminem.
Yeah! Shady Records wasn't just hits in history. It was a war behind the scenes. Egos, loyalty and betrayal. And beefs that nearly split the whole camp in half.
This my group, D12. The album comes out
of all of the Shady camp beefs, this one got personal.
He said D12.
And I said D12. They garbage.
Worst fucking rap group ever.
How can I relate to a group with 4 dudes that's easily replaced?
Huh?
Shit, man, it's the truth. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm not mad, I feel like they garbage.
Damn, this is Royce.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. You can beat up with gloves. And if you want beat, fuck it, you can beat up with Bugs.
He said Bugs' name in the song. He shouldn't even be worried about us. He should be worried about Bugs.
See that? Y'all niggas get through that first.
I wear this. I keep this.
All this shit, this here shit. Yo, look, catch me. Like this.
This nigga Cash get shot the fuck up. If you come outside, you get popped.
Back in the early 2000s when Eminem signed with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre, he had a close group of friends still left in Detroit that were trying to break their way into the scene. His friends included Royce the 5'9" and his rap group D12, aka The Dirty Dozen, which included Proof, Bizarre, Con Artist, Conniver, Swifty McVeigh and Bugs. But 1 year before Eminem got signed in 1999, D12 member Bugs was shot and killed in a Detroit argument. So as Eminem left Detroit and was trying to build his career with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre on Interscope, he decided to give Royce the 5'9" a shot and bring him on board.
Dre liked it, so I went out to Cali. I started working like on the Chronic album, helping them out or whatever. I wrote a couple songs. One of the songs made the album. It was called The Message, featuring Mary J. Blige.
The drama started when Royce the 5'9" manager done an interview with the Source magazine, claiming that Eminem sat Dr. Dre down in the studio.
My manager Keno was quoted in the vibe as saying, "I've seen Eminem sit Dre down like a pupil," or something to that nature. Dre read it or heard about it and got pissed. He let me know he was upset. He let me know it wasn't no problem with me. You know, he just upset at my manager for what he said.
Nobody said, that's my nigga. I'm a loyal nigga. So fuck him. Fuck everybody. It's not about money with me no more, man. Like, that's my motherfucking dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't my manager. He my man.
M had his back 100%. He loved Royce. Loved him to death. Royce was Eminem's hype-up man. And nobody could take that job from him. D12 was just M's boy. Who wouldn't even talk about it? Royce the 5'9" was the first priority to come out. Royce was in the driver's seat.
M took steps to put us on. So that respect and that love will always be there. But we're our own men. You know, we eat off our own plate. We're not on the Eminem plate. We're not eating off the Eminem plate or the Dr. Dre plate or the Interscope plate. We eat off our own plate.
M asked me, say, yo, Royce, could you finish this tour out with me? You know what I'm saying? I'll need you to finish this tour out with me, dude. And that'd be cool. Royce was like, well, no, man, I got to start my record. Tommy Boy just signed me, said such. He totally flipped the script.
With things turning sour and Eminem wanting Royce the 5'9" to finish his tour with him, and with Royce the 5'9" basically refusing to finish Eminem's tour, Eminem reached out to best friend and D12 rap member Proof, with Eminem then asking Royce would he like to rotate with Proof to make it easier for him.
So Royce said, well, just let Proof do it. I gotta get in the studio and do my album. M was like, damn, I just got you $1 million deal, basically co-signed for you. You can't even finish this tour out. So once he started to fade away from Eminem concentrated more on D12. So actually, I would like to thank Royce for getting D12 back together. And I'll never forget one day he was salty. He came in the studio. He wanted to record Rock City over with M. And M was like, yo, I got this D12 deadline. You know, I'm gonna have to give it you another day. And Royce couldn't understand that. He was like, what? I'm Royce, man. What you doing?
We all, in fact, embrace Royce or the fact of M embrace Royce?
You being dope is dope for me because you around my mans. That make you another dope nigga in our clique.
That was lit. I told him out of everybody he got the most potential.
When they went on tour, they did a Green Lantern mixtape. I submitted them a freestyle verse. For some reason, they listened to the verse and felt like I was dissing them. Even M.
He comes on before his record even started and says,
fuck anger management. I need somebody to manage my anger. And he took that as I was saying, fuck the anger management tour.
If you cool with him, why don't you put something in there and make the man even think that it's a diss?
He said, fuck anger management. Anger management is the name of Eminem's tour. Bottom line.
They took my shit off. And it got back to me through somebody else. And I'm thinking, why would M think I would do something like that to him, of all people? M was supposed to be upset. He said I'm not talking to Royce, period. I'm calling around frantically. What's wrong with M? What's the problem? Like, we can solve it in one talk.
Eminem didn't want to talk to him because you know why? It's 2 words. It's not subliminal. Fuck anger management.
Paul said, I'm trying to get him to talk to you now, Royce. What the fuck you mean you trying to get him to talk to you?
Royce would see our manager in the club and say, man, I don't think them niggas ready. They ain't
Yeah,
ready to come
right.
out yet.
Like,
you
ain't
ready, nigga.
Tell us we ain't ready.
You ain't ready.
Then we confront him. He said, nah, man, I ain't saying
He don't eat.
I didn't play you out of position. Mazar didn't play you out of position. Kadaver didn't play you out of position. None of these two played you out of position. You played yourself out of position. With ego, your ego played you out of position. It's my time to shine. I'm about to get it. I'm about to go. Let's go. Fuck it. How it took me to get here. I don't care who helped me get here. I'm about to go. That monster, whoever that monster was, is what destroyed you.
Then you blame us. Don't blame us.
Who would you say is ruining rap right now? D12. D12?
He said D12.
And I said D12. They garbage.
Worst fucking rap group ever.
Huh?
Shit. I mean, it's the truth. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm not mad, I feel like they're garbage.
Damn, this is Royce. It was his voice. No doubt it was Royce. So he's like, all right, you know what, man? Enough is enough.
We ain't Royce, motherfucker. We don't speak in vain. We don't act like we street. We don't not say names.
So I went to the radio the next day.
From the moment I walked in the door, it's always been envy towards Royce. Asking M, what is he doing here? What you helping him for? And it just hit the fan. They finally decided to pick their balls up and eyes on.
Next day, my man got on the radio and was talking shit, running his mouth, said he'd smack my ugly wife.
Smack your ugly wife.
Said he'd smack Swift.
Swifty, I'll slap you.
He'd smack Deny.
Denying, I'll slap.
Smack me and did it.
He said he'd smack everybody.
While we were still giving each other plays and shit, like, what up, though, man? Yeah, this is and that. He had diss songs already on it.
No, nigga, how can I relate to a group with 4 dudes that's easily replaced? I erase niggas when they talk backwards. What? Call Paul and have him write you off on his taxes.
What makes the great diss track is you saying anything about the person that the world can relate to. It's like me calling Bizarre fat, saying you got a shower cap. I mean, the whole world knows he's fat. He wears a fucking shower cap.
Share for the rap. Arresting the big fat bear that gotta jump in the character to rap. Nigga, give me this mic. You ain't doing it right. You call yourself an idiot. I'm proving you right.
It must have ruffled their feathers. They got all upset.
Royce released 2 diss tracks towards D12. One was titled Shit On You, then the next one was Malcolm X, where he called out every D12 member by name, but one line in particular crossed the boundary. In Malcolm X, Royce brought up Bugs, the original D12 member who had been killed in 1999. For them, Bugs wasn't just a fallen friend, he was family. After that, it wasn't about rap or skills or respect. It was about defending Bugs' memory. Proof had been like a little brother to Bugs, so he took that line as a direct shot at their fallen friend, and from that moment, it was all out war.
You think the Bugs line took it to the next level?
Hell yeah! Yo, man, please, man.
Next question.
He said Bugs' name in the song. He shouldn't even be worried about us. He should be worried about Bugs people.
And I'm going to the Lush tonight. So whoever decided to get cute, come see me at the Lush tonight. No, Deny. That ain't just D12. That's anybody to see. Deny. All right? Deny talking tough. He gonna beat people up with one arm. Dog.
Deny. Trey Little is in the house.
Deny. I will give you the business, dog.
Building.
Deny. Hey, we thought it was one of the radio disc jockeys, the female radio disc jockeys. Deny.
I'm thinking she gonna be like,
Proof. You my man. And I ain't gonna suck you right now. Your man.
I'm sober as a butt. That means whoever fight me gonna feel like they fight Roy Jones.
He said he's bossing like Roy Jones. We was there in 5 minutes. Everybody was there. Eminem was there. We showed up. He wasn't there. some of his people was there.
That night, I get a call. D12 just jumped your friend. One of my niggas. D12 just jumped him at the club that I was on my way to.
So what happened that night?
One of his soldiers.
What you think happened?
One of his soldiers got smashed the fuck up, right? And his shoes is on this block right now somewhere, I think.
Somebody wearing them. Somebody wearing them. You know what? We got blood on.
It's like 30 niggas. They jump on one person. You know what I'm saying? He get up and drive home. Didn't even go to the hospital. And that's how Malcolm X came along.
Royce 5'9" would like to apologize to the family of my homeboy Bugs for letting that line leak out the radio. It's a long story how it happened. D12, dog, y'all better quit acting like that was my man too, like I was trying to disrespect him or something. I was trying to disrespect y'all, because that's what I'm doing from here on in.
What rap crew I gotta snatch up out the game? Who must I smack for saying my name? I hope you and the white boy keep in touch and be a good little hype man or your lease is up. The slim sign 50, I don't see your teeth this much. It's good, cause you got a grill like a fucking truck. Damn. And you can run the hot. I'll be on your porch with a cheeseburger trying to lure you outside. Janine and Swifty, please give it a year. Both of y'all be raking 50s lead.
He don't even know my name, but I can shovel his snow. He told me at a club when he was scared that Swift was gonna come and smack him. But he told me to come to his crib and come play Madden. Come down the street and play Madden with me and come kick it with me. See how real I am. He's a whole ass nigga, dog, for real. That's a big. You gonna invite a nigga you don't even know to your crib and play Madden?
He started addressing Eminem. Eminem totally ignored the whole situation. He was like, "Oh, that's fucked up," but he had so much love for Royce that he didn't even get involved. I mean, he got involved, like, I ain't talking to him, but he didn't get involved in it lyrically.
Royce the 5'9" even threatened to side with Ja Rule and Benzino and sign with Murder Inc., the label that were enemies of the Shady camp.
Murder Inc.? He said he was signed to Murder Inc. Murder Inc. don't even want to sign.
Y'all really want to play, we right under your nose.
Royce the 5'9" is a whole ass nigga. That's number one. That's number two, why he's a whole ass nigga, is because the next week he saw my man Swift at the studio. He had 5 niggas with him and he didn't do shit.
He walked up to me like this. So what's up? I didn't shake his hand.
Hell no.
I said, you said you was gonna smack me. You said you was gonna smack my dog wife. It ain't nothing to talk. You talked about bugs. It ain't nothing to talk about. What's up? If you come outside, you getting popped. Call all your niggas.
Then we was there in 5 minutes
and walked away.
I do this. I wear this. I keep this. I don't just go anywhere. I don't hang out. I don't go to club.
We still went to every club, still go everywhere we want to fucking go and do anything we want to do.
I don't hang out where my enemies hang out. For what? You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? So anything I do from this point on in my life will be out of self-defense.
See that? Y'all niggas get through that first. Y'all niggas just talking.
What started off as back-to-back diss tracks then turned into some straight street shit, with both crews being equipped.
All this shit, this heated shit. Yo, look, catch me like this.
Your gun bigger than you.
I mean that shit for real.
They stumped my man at the lunch. What the fuck do we got to talk about? It ain't nothing to talk about. If you was gonna do something to it, why you on a videotape with guns? That makes no motherfucking shit. Any real nigga gonna see that.
One of Royce's boys got caught slipping and got shot up.
This nigga Cash get shot the fuck up.
My nigga allergic to bullets. He just didn't take his medicine that day.
But look, I got a little advice for you though. If you're gonna send somebody to do something, make sure the motherfucker can aim. And for you niggas who sending niggas who not capable of getting the job done, you're gonna feel like a dumbass when you at his dumbass funeral and you gotta look at his mama. Alright? That's all I got to say about that, man.
By late 2003, the feud spilled out of the music. Royce and Proof crossed paths outside a Detroit nightclub.
I ran into a little incident where me and Proof finally seen each other. Proof from D12.
An argument broke out. Voices were raised, tempers flared, and both men ended up pulling guns.
This shit I really got on some other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, supposed to be hits in the streets, and some people getting shot, some people get beat up and robbed.
Me and Proof had actually walked away from the crowd, away from where all the melee was.
we walked away like person to person.
The police arrived quickly and arrested them both.
They patted us down and we both had our guns on us. You know what I'm saying? So we both caught gun cases.
That man got a felony, I got a felony.
Locking them in jail cells right next to each other. That night changed everything. Away from the cameras and the crews, they finally talked.
Proof basically was like, yo, I felt like you shouldn't have mentioned my name on such and such song. And I was like, okay, I felt like you shouldn't have did such and such. It was basically us getting all our thoughts out in the open.
Like you said, he becoming humble now and knows that he said a lot of wrong things that he just shouldn't have never ever said.
I've said things in the past about them that I shouldn't have said, and I admit that. You know what I'm saying? Just like they've done things to me that they shouldn't have did.
Where do this go? I mean, they gotta hit back. What if they get it bizarre or somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Or do something stupid. If I can stop the shit, let's stop the shit. You know what I'm saying?
If I talk to Proof and I say, yo, look, we squashing this, that means I'm squashing it with anything that got to do with him.
We reconcile. I'm not gonna hold that against you. Hopefully you don't hold nothing that from this side that happened to your mans would get beat up or whatever. Hold it against me. You know what I'm saying? If we let it go, we let it go.
It's a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? I know they respect me. Just cause of like the shit that I do lyrically, I know they respect me. And I respect them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the respect has always been there.
I can respect Royce. You know what I'm saying? I will talk to him. Cause the best thing is I would love to see your kids grow up and fight for your publishing. And I would love to see my kids grow up and fight for publishing. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at life.
From the streets of Detroit came 6 brothers bound by music and pain. They rose together, fell apart, and found their way back through loyalty. Their legacy became bigger than any feud. The street war between D12 and Royce the 5'9" showed how pride can divide, but forgiveness brought them back together. They went on to perform shows, record tracks, and rebuild the bond they once lost. When Royce and Eminem shared that stage again, it felt like the city itself had finally found peace.
The Blockbuster Award for Favorite Modern Rock Group goes to Limp Bizkit.
At the peak of the early 2000s, Eminem and Limp Bizkit were running the world.
12 rounds of throwdown, who hold crown, protect land with 4 pounds, Limp Bizkit.
Until one comment, one alliance, and one ego clash turned it into a full-blown feud.
How fucking cowards roll. Keep rolling.
The reason that I diss Limp Bizkit is because they're little girls.
By the late 1990s, 2 names were climbing the charts and dominating hip-hop culture in very different but equally destructive ways.
Limp Bizkit.
Eminem, the controversial rapper from Detroit, was redefining hip-hop with his raw lyricism and alter ego, Slim Shady. His major label debut, the Slim Shady LP, in 1999, shook the industry, but it was the 2000s, the Marshall Mathers LP, that cemented his status as one of the most controversial and compelling artists in music history. At the same time, Limp Bizkit was rising to fame as one of the faces of the new metal movement. Led by frontman Fred Durst, the band mixed aggressive rock with hip-hop elements, creating chart-topping albums like Significant Other and Chocolate Starfish. With the signature blend of rap, riffs and rebellion, Limp Bizkit became staples of MTV and arena tours around the world. Both Eminem and Limp Bizkit built their brands on raw energy, anti-establishment attitudes, and a crossover appeal. In the early days, they weren't rivals, they were collaborators. But behind the scenes, tensions were building, and in 2001, what started as a creative friendship began to unravel. This is the story of Eminem and Limp Bizkit, how they came together, where it all went wrong, and what remains of their feud over 2 decades later. Before the fallout, there was a friendship, or at least the start of one. In 1999, both Eminem and Limp Bizkit were ascending fast. Eminem had just joined Dr. Dre. Limp Bizkit, meanwhile, had just dropped Significant Other, a genre-bending album that brought rap rock into the mainstream. They only ever recorded one collaboration song together titled Turn Me Loose.
We had bonded through an Interscope, and then we met, and he hung out there, and we were working together. We recorded this little thing called Turn Me Loose that leaked out on the internet.
Turn It Loose is a collaborative effort between Eminem and Fred. How did you guys hook up to do this track?
You want to answer that? You want me to? You. All right. We just got together, man. We're on the same label. You know what I'm saying? We're label mates. And I heard their stuff from their first album and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't do anything that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I like their stuff. So it was like we got together and we didn't know it was going to turn out as dope as it did. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, you know, we got together and we did it.
Fred? Same thing. You're a fan of M and just like, yo, come in. Did you just bust a
I was at Interscope actually, and Jimmy Iovine and Dre and turned me onto his video and said to check this out and listen to it. And it was like off the hook before it even came out. And I said I'd like to do something with this guy, and through I don't know, hooked it up. He was in the studio laying down some rhymes, and it kind of turned into like Turn It Loose.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and we hooked up a hook, and it's still being mixed right now. So that's pretty fat, though.
At this point, the vibe was collaborative. Eminem gave Limp Bizkit a shout out in his 2000 hit, The Real Slim Shady.
Christina Aguilera better switch me chairs so I can sit next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst.
And Durst even appeared in a music video in a tongue-in-cheek cameo with MTV host Carson Daly, poking fun at pop stars like Christina Aguilera. And then came the anger management tour. In late 2000, Eminem and Limp Bizkit co-headlined a massive US tour that saw both acts performing to sold-out arenas. They weren't just sharing stages, they were sharing fans, energy, and momentum. While Eminem and Limp Bizkit were still riding high from the anger management tour, a new problem emerged, and it came in the form of an old-school rapper with a grudge. That rapper was Everlast, real name Eric Schroeder, the former frontman of House of Pain and a long-time figure in the white rapper underground. In 2000, Everlast and Eminem crossed paths backstage at a show, and according to Everlast, Eminem snubbed him. From that moment, a quiet tension turned into a lyrical war. In October 2000, Everlast took the first shot with a track titled Eardrums Pop Remix.
Cock my hammer, spit a comment like Haley. A buck of 380 on ones that act shady.
Throwing direct jabs at Eminem and even referencing Eminem's daughter Haley, a line that crossed a personal boundary. Eminem wasted no time firing back with his own diss tracks. First, I Remember.
Plus I can sing better than you, and I don't fucking sing, and probably play guitar better, and I ain't never touched the string.
And then the more brutal, Quitter.
I'm even liked better by your niece and nephew, and now you hate Fred because Lethal left you.
And here's where Limp Bizkit enters the picture. Behind the scenes, Eminem reached out to Fred Durst and DJ Lethal, hoping to bring them in on a track to clap back at Everlast together. At the time, it made sense. DJ Lethal had history with Everlast, and they were bandmates in House of Pain, and had reportedly trashed Everlast in a private conversation with Eminem. The studio session was set up. Eminem was ready, but when the day came, Limp Bizkit never showed.
I'm like, if you guys really want to get on the song, I'll set up the studio time in LA. Let's do it. And they're like, okay, whatever. So we set up the studio time. The day I get to the studio, that day, Fred pages us, yo, I got a toothache, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it today. And DJ Lethal says he doesn't know how he feels about doing the song because he's still cool with Everlast. So I'm thinking, all right, if he's still cool with Everlast, then why was he telling me he hates him? You don't say it. I'm not gonna run to somebody and say I can't stand Denon. Do you know what I mean? To somebody I barely know those guys. You know what I'm saying? So if you, why? That's a girl. That's a fucking girl. That's a little girl. That's a Girl Scout right there.
Eminem moved forward without them, but the situation with Limp Bizkit was now quietly simmering. At this point, Eminem says he still wasn't ready to fall out with them completely. He was disappointed. My opinion of them lowered, he admitted, but he hadn't made it personal. That came next, thanks to one interview on MTV. It took one sentence, one offhand comment live on TV to turn quiet tension into a full-blown war.
Video Music Awards are known for their surprises, and Thursday's show is no exception.
In December 2000, Limp Bizkit appeared on MTV's Total Request Live, the beating heartbeat of pop culture at the time. Fred Durst, DJ Lethal and the rest of the band were riding high off Chocolate Starfish, cracking jokes, promoting music videos. Just another day on TRL, until the topic of Everlast vs Eminem came up. DJ Lethal apparently said to the interviewer when asked about M, that Everlast would beat Eminem and whoop his ass in a fight. That's what DJ Lethal said, live, on air, in front of millions. To the average fan, it may have seemed just like a neutral comment, but to Eminem watching from home, it was a slap in the face.
Fucking pussy.
So then, like, not even 2 weeks later, these motherfuckers are on MTV talking about, they asked him about the Everlast thing. They asked Lethal about the Everlast thing, right? Lethal said, I think personally that M is a good rapper. He's a better MC, but I think that in a fight, Everlast will whip his ass. Now, come on, dog.
You're supposed to be on that song.
Yeah, what the For real, what the is that? Now, you tell me what you would do. What would you do in a situation like that? Like, I'm sitting back on TV, I'm sitting back at home watching the TV like, I think Everlast will whip his ass. I'm like, what? The fuck? You were supposed to be on the song with me. What kind of shit is that?
From that point, Eminem wasn't just annoyed, he was activated. And when Eminem decides to respond, it's rarely subtle. Behind the scenes, he began writing. Not a diss aimed at Everlast this time, but directly at Limp Bizkit. The result would be one of the most underrated diss tracks, buried as a hidden song on the up-and-coming D12 album Devil's Night, with a track titled Girls, where he comes for all of Limp Bizkit.
This is the story about some little fucking girls that I know.
Eminem gives it to all of them, including Fred.
So from doing a song with method to begging to get accepted, I'm pegging Fred with the bottle of dye that he bleached his head.
The track was titled Girls, and for 4 relentless minutes, Eminem tore into Fred Durst and DJ Lethal like they were just another battle opponent back on 8 Mile.
Fred, you said you was dissing him too. I said I knew better than to listen to you, you fucking sissy.
Taunts DJ Lethal for switching sides.
That's for Lethal, don't forget what I said. I'm fucking you up, punk, you're dead. Don't think that I'm playing, and fuck Bizkit.
And he even takes a jab at their hit Rolling, calling it corny.
Alright, partner. Keep on rolling, baby.
He even drops a personal detail, claiming that at the 2000 MTV Awards, Fred Durst tried to high-five him, and he intentionally left him hanging.
I would not have made a move if it wasn't for that. If 10, 20 million people did not see him say that Everlast would whip my ass. There was no call for it, dog. If you didn't want to be in the beef, then you should have stayed out of the beef. You shouldn't have opened your mouth with an opinion. That's it. So that's why I dissed him. And I look at him as a group, and I dissed him. Even though Fred, whatever, he's in the middle of it because that's his crew. Do you know what I'm saying? One of my crew disses somebody, we all diss somebody. That's how people are gonna look at it. That's how people look at it, period.
And Limp Bizkit, they never responded. No diss tracks, no comebacks, not even a verse. Fred Durst stayed silent. DJ Lethal said nothing. Whether it was out of respect, fear, or just wanting to move on, the war was over before it became a real battle. Some fans felt Eminem went too far, but many saw it as just another battle won by hip-hop's most dangerous lyricist. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the two camps never reconciled. Eminem never mentioned Fred Durst again, at least not directly, and Limp Bizkit avoided his name like the plague, but the impact of the fallout was felt. In hip-hop circles, Limp Bizkit lost credibility. Their rap rock edge now looked watered down, and while Chocolate Starfish remained a commercial hit, their cultural capital took a hit, especially among fans who took sides. For Eminem, it was just another name added to a long list of opponents. But this one was different, because it didn't come from a rival, it came from a friend. By 2002, Eminem was dominating the charts with the Eminem Show on 8 Mile. Limp Bizkit meanwhile has started to lose momentum, creatively, commercially and publicly. But even as the careers went in different directions, the fallout lingered quietly in the background, unspoken and resolved. And then, in 2013, over a decade later, Fred Durst broke the silence. During a Reddit AMA, a fan asked directly, "Are you and Eminem cool now?" Fred's response measured, honestly, surprisingly and vulnerable. I haven't heard anything from Eminem since he turned on LB. I don't speak much about it, but it really hurt my feelings at the time. I thought we were better friends than I suppose we were. But I've remained a loyal fan of his and chose to remember the good times. He's definitely one of the best rappers of all time. It wasn't an apology, it wasn't a defense. It was something rarer in this genre, regret. Fred Durst, the guy who built a career on middle fingers and mosh pits, admitted it hurt.
Eminem, I know you used to joke around with Eminem back in the day.
Yeah, he used to be my homie.
He used to be, have you talked to him recently?
No, I haven't talked to him since he turned on me.
Oh, really? What happened?
I don't know, but I still love him. I still love his town. I like him as a person.
If you saw him today, would you be willing to do a new track with him?
Dude, I got mad love for him. He remembers our time together as genuine and...
As for Eminem, he didn't respond, not then. But in classic Marshall Mathers fashion, he let the years pass until the moment was right. In 2024, Eminem released a surprise project titled The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, a reflection on his career, his alter ego, and the people he's hurt along the way. On one track, Guilty Conscience 2, fans noticed a subtle yet powerful moment. He drops and mentions a line about Limp Bizkit.
This is for him, Christopher MGK, nicking for Limp Bizkit and them.
Eminem never says Fred's name, but in the context of a track about letting go, it felt intentional, a subtle white flag. And while they may never share a stage again, they both shared something even rarer in this business: longevity. Today, Eminem and Limp Bizkit fans look back on the feud with nostalgia, a moment in time frozen between two artists at the peak of their power, who let one single quote on MTV rewrite their story. Just imagine if Lethal never said what he said. Would we see albums together? Would we see shows together? Who knows? This is the story of Eminem and Limp Bizkit. Smash a like on the video and comment below what you think Eminem and Limp Bizkit will be doing these days if they never fell out.
That's not my style. You know what, Annabelle? I'd like to do a track with Eminem. You know, he'd have to meet me halfway on that one. That's for sure.
Rich shit, fucking with my blood, about to rip shit.
The final war wasn't on the streets, it was in the magazines. Because when Eminem went to war with Benzino on The Source, it wasn't just beef, it was a battle for hip-hop's reputation.
Okay, can someone ever really challenge the source? People have tried, and people haven't really succeeded. And I was like, my strategy was going to be, I'm going right for.
And if that's who he is, then he has to be held accountable for that.
Do any of you guys read the Source magazine anymore? The cracker think he that good. He not that.
If you ever see me in the Source magazine, it's gonna be a picture. They're gonna draw funny pictures of me and shit. Cause I ain't never gonna be in that publication, ever.
Have to back slap your moms if you smile. I'm serious. If you ain't gonna respect it, why should I?
The second time he did it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna let him have it.
Shady Records just a bunch of house niggas.
House niggas? It seems like you got a lot of house niggas in you, cause he kinda like that, you know what I'm saying?
It's over hip-hop. Like, hip-hop is who we are. He can't come in and invade hip-hop in Rosenberg and make trillions of dollars.
Somebody should bury your ass for that. You get 2 mics, nigga. You get 2 mics.
Eminem, one of the biggest rap superstars of the early 2000s, found himself locked in an unexpected war with Raymond Benzino Scott, a veteran MC and co-owner of The Source magazine. Their bitter feud would spill from diss tracks to magazine pages, shaking the world of hip-hop.
Electro recording artist, co-owner of Source magazine, Eminem Slayer. This battle between me and Eminem is really a situation where the hood just ain't selling units no more. And there's a double standard on how certain media, is using hip-hop and Eminem as propaganda to, in my opinion, to make the hood not sell no more records.
The commercialization of it is good. It's created more, economic opportunities, created more jobs, more wealth. But now, we also have to take a look at where that wealth is going right now.
It's a double standard, meaning, we can't make the same. We gotta gear our songs towards partying and more lighter side of things. We can't speak our pain. We can't express our pain. We can't express our music without pain. I think they're letting Eminem be free to do the music that he wants to do, while at the same time we're not.
A freestyle.
I hope to God he was freestyling, because if he wrote that, I really feel bad.
I mean, did something happen to spark that between you and him?
Angie, I swear on my daughter's life, I never met this dude. I never met this man, this girl. She is obsessed with me.
The Benzino thing, that's Pope shit. And all that, he does all of that. Hollering, hooping, hollering, saying, oh, he's white, he's stealing black culture. Well, I'm black as a motherfucker. And I love Eminem.
In 1988, two college friends at Harvard, David Mays and Jonathan John Schechter, started a hip-hop newsletter with $500 and a Macintosh computer.
In the building I was living, in my dorm room, one day I'm coming back in from class and I hear some rap music coming out of one of the rooms. And I'm like, oh man, I wonder who's listening to rap music, because, it wasn't too many people there.
And so I knocked on the door and introduced myself, and that was John Schechter. And John was a kid from Philly who grew up loving hip hop.
Let's go back to 1988, which was, I believe, the most important year for hip hop, not because we started The Source, but musically, you know, that was when it was really in the prime of its creativity. And, you know, there was a need for something that treated the music seriously. And when I say serious, I don't mean like you can't have a good time. What I mean is a journal that actually addressed hip hop music as a real art form and all the things that went along with it.
Dave Mays had a close friend from Boston known as Raymond Benzino Scott, a rapper and street figure who led a crew called the Almighty RSO.
So if you're weak to a bad boy, you know come, you get shot, you get beat down, you get starved.
Dave Mays became the manager of RSO.
I started from nothing. I had $250 in a newsletter and an idea. And, I stayed with it, and I was, lucky enough, fortunate enough, right timing for it to work
In
out.
1988, they published the very first issue of The Source, and within just a few years, it wasn't just a magazine anymore, it was the Bible of hip-hop. It got to the point where they were hosting the legendary Source Awards, where the biggest moments and rivalries in hip-hop took center stage. It truly became a cultural institution.
It's kind of hard to delineate between where your journalism ends and where entertainment begins, because they've been so influential in their ability to determine different things. It's been an issue.
In 1994, The Source hit its first major internal collapse. Dave Mays approved and inserted a feature on his friend Benzino's group, Almighty RSO, without consulting the editorial team. As a result, co-founder John Schechter walked away, along with several key members of the original editorial team.
The standards that apply at Time magazine do not apply to any of the hip-hop magazines. I even question, do we have separation of the editorial and the advertising?
With the loss of staff, The Source magazine was bringing in new people to edit the magazine.
When I got the opportunity to go over there, the first thing I did was just talk to journalists that I knew who were older than me and say, should I do this? Is the taint or the perception of a taint around this place so drastic that I shouldn't mess with it?
Around the same time, Dave Mays was producing Almighty RSO's album, and the article he had written in The Source magazine was openly positive and clearly biased towards RSO. Because Mays and Benzino were close friends, the piece crossed the line for the editorial team. With the changeover of the staff in 1994, Selwyn Hines became editor-in-chief in 1997 and brought in Elliot Wilson as music editor.
I grew up reading The Source. I looked at it as it was the Bible of hip-hop. I was like, I want to be part of that. I used to read The Source, and it had a column in it called the Dennis Files, and it had this guy, Reginald C. Dennis. He was the music editor, and he had a column in the back of the book with the reviews. He had like a ski hat on and glasses, and I was like, I want to be that guy. So I got to live out my career dream, which was to be Reggie Dennis and be the holder of the mics.
Source's mic rating system became one of the most powerful forces in hip-hop. Albums were graded from 1 to 5 mics, and a rare 5 mic rating was treated like a classic stamp of approval. A high score could launch careers and boost sales, while low ratings could stall momentum. But as time went on, many artists began questioning the ratings, believing personal relationships and politics were starting to influence what was supposed to be an objective system.
Source magazine played a huge part of the hip-hop game, but I never respected the 5 mics. And I ain't disrespecting Dave Mays' Source magazine. Y'all paved the way. But who judges your...
There's not one set way it's done. When I took over, I was told that you have to put together a mic committee, which is me and a bunch of editors. I get the new album. I have to make copies for everybody. And then we're supposed to have a meeting and hammer out what we all think. And out of that conversation, I come up with the rating, and pending the approval of Selwyn and Dave, it is what it is. And usually maybe one record per month they'd want to debate. They would think maybe this could get a little bit higher. So we have little, non-structured meetings or conversations, and sometimes I would give in, sometimes I would get my way. It was pretty much not a problem, even with Dave.
The Source magazine changed in 1998 when Corrupt released his double album, Corruption, which featured the track 5 mics.
He has a song on the album called 5 Mics, which is the highest rating you can get in Source magazine. So and the hook was like 5 mics dedicated to the source. And then Dave all of a sudden comes in the office too, and he's nodding along to it. And I was like, yo, you heard this, Dave? Come to find out, like, Dave's boys have produced it. Dave wasn't gonna say, you know what, you have to do this, you know. He would try to hide under the guise of journalism. You know, he had a vested interest, but he wouldn't, it was like wink, wink. He wouldn't say to you, it's my magazine, you gotta do it that way. He tried to convince me that the thing deserved it. I wanted to give Corrupt 3 mics. They wanted me to give him 4.
Well, with Corrupt, he was involved with Corrupt's career at that time in whatever capacity. So I remember we had a listening session where Corrupt came to present us the album, which a lot of artists do, right? So he's playing this album, and it sounds pretty good and wall bopping along. And then all of a sudden he plays a record called 5 Mics. And then in the song hook, he's like, 5 mics dedicated to the source. 5 mics dedicated to the source. And I see Dave's nodding his head, da-da-da. It's like, I was like, oh, I know what this is. Okay, then it's gonna be a problem.
Issue comes out, and I see that the mics have been changed. So I'm livid, and then someone goes, oh, he didn't call you? I'm like, no, he didn't call me.
And I understand why Elliot took it the way that he did.
Fuck him. I don't want to work for him. Like, fuck him.
When Elliot Wilson later left The Source, it marked another crack in the magazine's foundation. By that point, Benzino was part of the group Made Men, and he already had an influence inside The Source through his relationship with Dave Mays.
We had just closed our September issue. Puffy was on the cover of that issue. There are a lot of stories in there, including a story on the Made Men.
Benzino wasn't happy and called Dave Mays, pushing for a meeting to question why his group had been sidelined. Another example of how blurred boundaries continue to cause internal tension at the magazine.
Dave tried to downplay it. He said, look, Ray has some concerns and there's some things he wants to talk about relating to the magazine and how he and his group were treated in the magazine. Not a big deal, very, very downplaying it. So I said, look, man, I was like, you're my boss. If you tell me that you won't be here for this minute in the conference room, I'm going to do it. But I'm telling you right now, I think it's a bad idea. And if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I'm not going to like it.
Dave Mays, Benzino, even Benzino's father, the Made Men, and the entire Source editorial team sat down in the conference room to have a discussion.
So there's a lot of people in this room. And there's copies of the new Source on the table. So then Ray begins this incredible tirade about why, their name is so small and everybody else's name is just so big. I'm beginning to have a logical conversation, but even then I'm like, why am I saying this? I actually learned how to do source coverage from this guy right here, Dave Mays. It's one of the good things that I got from Dave. Dave showed me how to, make a cover sell, and you put the big popular people big and the not so popular people smaller. It was a thing that got Raymond angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier, and that meeting went down so fast. Fuck you, Sal, fuck you this, you ain't real, you don't know hip hop, fuck you that. So I got up and I stopped and I looked at Dave and I said, I told you this was gonna happen. I told you this was gonna happen yesterday. I told you.
Not long after that conference meeting, Selwyn Hines resigned. And 1 month later, Benzino's Made Men album got 4.5 mics in a Source magazine. Surprisingly, it was written by an author that doesn't even exist. Eventually, Elliot Wilson left The Source and went on to help build XXL magazine, which was only a small up-and-coming magazine at the time. Benzino had become an editor at The Source and was increasingly using the magazine as a platform to benefit himself. He gave his own music unusually high ratings and pushed his project through favourable coverage.
Although I think he probably brings a lot of good things to The Source, there's always going to be someone that says they're biased because of the situation.
Would you want them to back down and step back from one? That's just like saying a rapper shouldn't own a clothing line or a rapper shouldn't own a television network if he could. I mean, that's him in his hustle. Shit, if I owned the magazine, my ass would be in there every month too. Shit. It's like if they wasn't niggas, I had jokes about that. Like this nigga owned the magazine that can't get an ad in that bit.
This nigga give himself quotable.
At the same time, Benzino used the magazine as a platform to take indirect and direct shots at Eminem.
100 motherfucking ads in the Source magazine, and he sold 14,000 this first week. For this album, they said you get 3 issues of the Source magazine with it. That's $3.99. $3.99 3 times. If we do the math on that, that's about $12 minus 15 cents. I said, okay, I know numbers good. For $4, you could only get 14,000 people to buy that shit. Horrible. No, it's not horrible. That's a tragedy for your album to sell 14,000. Somebody should bury your ass for that.
Behind the scenes, the magazines leaned into a narrative that Eminem was overhyped and commercially favoured, which many believe reflected Benzino's personal bias rather than an honest critique.
The Source magazine doesn't have beef, but we're in a business and it's competitive. Business is competitive. Business is full of sharks out there. So you gotta be competitive. Basically, if you want to succeed in business, but I don't consider it beef.
While Benzino was using the Source to give himself glowing reviews and basically handing out 5 mics to his own projects, the ex-editor Elliot Wilson, who was now over at XXL, was watching things unfold.
Okay, can someone really ever challenge the Source? Because people have tried and people haven't really succeeded. And I was like, my strategy was going to be, I'm going right for them.
So he started firing back in XXL's pages, taking aim at the Source's credibility and making things personal.
Every editorial, I was really taking a lot of low blows. I was doing it creatively, satire-wise, but, it was very personal. And, I'm relentless.
In the midst of the back and forth between XXL magazine and the Source magazine, Benzino sent shots at Eminem with Pull Your Skirt Up.
Scores looking crazy. Niggas on my block won't not Slim Shady.
When Benzino was asked why he put M's name on a track, Benzino's reply was interesting.
Oh, man. Marshall. I'm saying, it ain't really like I was going at Marshall, you know what I'm saying, personally. I was pretty much attacking the machine. Marshall's just the hood on me. And it's a situation where I think that, we just got to be conscious of what's going on and the double standard, in hip-hop.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as my contribution to hip-hop, him calling me a culture stealer and an invader and all that stuff, as far as my contribution to hip-hop, what was my contribution to hip-hop any different than Dave Mays and Jonathan Schechter when they started the Source 12, 13 years ago? Was to make hip-hop bigger and expand it.
Benzino followed it up with a second diss, Die Another Day, doubling down on the attack, accusing him of being a culture vulture, which many disagreed with.
I think Eminem sells records because he's talented. Because there's been many white rappers before him that didn't sell 8-9 million records. Because they didn't have the talent. Everybody's pinpointing him because he's better than everybody. So now motherfuckers is like, oh, it's because he's white. It's because he's white he's selling all these records. That's not true, man. You look at Dre. Dre sold 6 million records before. Snoop sold 7 million records before. Well, he wasn't white, he was black. This dude just happens to be talented.
Yeah, Emma's the only nigga that's selling. Nelly's selling. Jigga selling. Nas selling. He thought Outkast selling.
He thought he was
a lot of niggas selling.
He thought he was
niggas eating right now.
But you mad at Eminem because you ain't. It felt like to me he was trying to start a fucking revolution. Yo, fuck the white people. White boys selling records and we not selling records in the hood. Nigga, that's because your shit whacking.
The average consumer is gonna go buy what they want to buy. If they like Benzino's album enough, and they like Eminem's album enough, they're gonna buy both albums. If they gotta choose between one of the two, if they feel like Eminem's is better, whether he's black or white, they're gonna buy his. He's not taking food out of nobody's mouth. And me and him ain't on the best of terms right now, but I gotta defend him in that right because he worked too fucking hard for somebody to just try and take that away from him. He been through too much just being white.
All he just missing is the black on his face. Because Eminem is black too. He's black and white. He know how to deal with, motherfuckers on here and over there. Like, hey, man, power to him. Shit, I wouldn't give a fuck. You let me get some white on here selling. I wouldn't give a fuck.
I ain't selling no units in the hood no more, man.
Fuck Benzino.
I ain't selling no more units in the hood.
When you pick one person, how can a person not personalize? If you just talking about me,
He dissed me on a record. I didn't respond. Then he dissed me again. He went back in the studio again. I think he was mad that I didn't respond. Not that it didn't hit my radar, because this dude owns half of the Source magazine.
Let me have to back slap your moms if you smile. I'm serious. If you ain't gonna respect it, why should I?
The second time he did it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna let him have it.
You don't know me, you're my motherfucking mother, you motherfucking punk. Put me on your fucking cover just to sell you a little sellout, man.
So I gave it to him. 2 songs. 2 songs to his 2 songs.
Vanilla ice, spill the beans and rice. I'm eating you alive inside. Jesus Christ, if you're that much of a gangster, put the mic down. You should be out killing motherfuckers right now.
Don't blame me, because you suck. This dude, Angie, I think could very well, after hearing his last record, I truly believe, and I'm not even exaggerating, this dude could possibly be the worst rapper in the world. He's done. Anything that he does from now on will really good. He's speaking from the grave. I buried him. I put the nail in the coffin. I threw the dirt on top of his grave. I don't even think I put him in the coffin. I think I just buried him in a hole and threw the dirt on his grave.
As their feud with Benzino escalated, the Source was sending shots to all of their rivals. Eminem and 50 Cent publicly sided with XXL. 50 and Eminem boosted the sales for the magazine, eventually outselling the Source and becoming the dominant voice in hip-hop media.
Do any of you guys read the Source magazine anymore?
Hey,
If you ever see me in the Source magazine, it's gonna be a picture. They're gonna draw funny pictures of me and shit. Cause I ain't never gonna be in that publication, ever.
Then in a special edition of the XXL, they featured 50 Cent as an editor.
And then we ran this illustration of Benzino, which involved his son. You know, in retrospect, it probably is a little much.
Benzino wasn't happy and decided to come for Elliott Wilson face to face.
While he was walking towards the back, I already was headed towards the front to see what it was. So we go towards the corridor, like we meet face up, and I'm like, yo, Ray, what's up, blah, blah. And I like touch him in his arms, like, don't touch me. And somehow he wants to fuck me up, and she kill me, bud, or you fuck me up, but it's kind of a blur. Why are you fucking with me, Elliott? Why am I doing this? Why am I being the bully? And I keep bringing it to Kim, keep bringing it to him, keep bringing it to Dave. Why are you like backing me into a corner, ultimately, where I gotta fucking do something? He's basically letting me know that in some ways he's justified to his mind because of what I did, and then doing the kid thing is too far. Which is, you know, some legitimate argument. Rappers are very sensitive when it comes to children and kids. And even though it's 50 Cent's idea, you know, I'm responsible for it. It's my magazine.
Yeah, we don't want any beef, but I think it was pathetic. In any other business, you would never have a competitor come up and get in your face.
I don't yet. Mr. Coke has never decked.
Yeah, I don't know that Pepsi, the chairman of Pepsi has rolled up, you know, to the chairman of Coke and called them out like that. So, yes, it's hip-hop. When I first started XXL, anybody I've ever worked with is always, you know, welcome to hip-hop. Seems to be an excuse for everything, but I think that was a real low point.
Him coming up there was, he felt I was crossing the line because I was coming at him as an individual. It is what it is. I'm not going to apologize, but it does change the way I'm doing things now going forward. Because if I personally attack them, I'm giving them an excuse to do something extreme. And I'm not going to take that bait. I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not trying to out-thug them. I'm trying to outsell them.
On November 2003, Benzino, David Mays and a Source magazine got their hands on an unreleased racist Eminem demo tape and set up a conference meeting, but not with fans of the music, with the national press.
Say that what's on this tape, the tape that 3 white kids from Detroit walked into Dave's office, brought and said, listen, this is the real Eminem and we're tired of it. We got to make this the same way that you guys have treated Mike Tyson. You guys are treating Kobe Bryant. You guys treated R. Kelly, O.J. Simpson. We can hear the music now.
I'll get straight to the point. Black girls are bitches. That's why I'ma tell you, you better pull up your bridges. Cause all that cash is making your ass drag from the boyfriend you gang. And that's pretty bad.
I can't think of a more, you know, important and pivotal moment in our history and the Source's history, you know, our personal histories than right here tonight.
Black girls and white girls just don't mix because black girls are dumb and white girls are good chicks. White girls are good. I like white girls.
Black women are bad. White women are good. I don't care if he's redeemed himself now. That's not the message. And if that's who he is, then he has to be held accountable for that. I want to see what he's going to say now. The ball's is in his court now.
Eminem has never denied the existence of the early demo tapes and claimed they was recorded out of stupidity after splitting up with his African-American girlfriend.
The song was cut off and edited. The song was, when they was freestyling, they was naming all type of races, like white girl, what you think about a white girl, black girl, look a black girl, basically. But the Source just edited the black girl part and made it like it was racist. So that goes some information for you.
As the years went by, the Source lost credibility. Writers like Elliott Wilson helped build XXL into the new voice of hip-hop, one that embraced Eminem instead of trying to erase him. The culture followed, and the Source slowly lost its influence.
We all got one life to live, and how our life plays out is how it plays out. It makes no sense to go back, especially that long, and start talking regrets or woulda, shoulda, coulda, you know what I'm saying? Because what happened. It was a time and place.
Eminem's name never came out of his mouth. He was always being spoke about in interviews through the years.
Fuck Eminem. I dusted Eminem. Rap Elvis, bitch. They trying to kill me right now, bro, because of the shit I'm saying, because it's deep, bro. Let me tell you, his fans, bro, his fans like him because he's white. They don't fuck with us.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as like my contribution to hip hop, him calling me a culture stealer and an invader and all that stuff, as far as my contribution to hip hop, what was my contribution to hip hop any different than Dave Mays and Jonathan Schechter when they started the Swords 12, 13 years ago? Was to make hip hop bigger and expand it. If I can take hip hop and open more white people's ears to hip hop so that artists like Nelly and Ja Rule and Jay-Z and Cameron and Ludacris and Nas can sell more records, then that's my contribution to hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm only being real. And I swear to you, Angie, this dude can scrounge up change and call you from a payphone after this interview, and he can scream, he can jump up and down, he can scream all he wants, he can go in the studio and make 100,000 more records about me and base his whole life around mine. I will not make another song about this man.
I don't hate Eminem. I don't know him to hate him. I don't hate white people. Tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I got an 8-year-old son that I dropped off at school this morning. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm all right. I don't want my DMs filled with... I've had 9 pages knocked down, 1 million. White people think... I love all people. Come on, man. All me and Eminem got to do is sit down and talk with each other. Let's sit down and talk. Let's battle. Let's do whatever. But let's at least face to face meet each other.
If that was to happen, would you give him a 5?
Fuck it, man. I'd hug him.